Okay, so in this live stream, I'm doing general readings, a daily reading, looking to get through the 12 houses, this time starting in Aries house, aka the first house. And I'm going to try to go fairly quickly to the best of my ability through the houses. Sometimes I was starting to read an introduction before going into the houses, but on this live stream, we'll just get right into the reading, starting with Aries. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a general reading for Aries. Please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Aries. In the first position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The 15 major arcana in the second position. Ace of Cups. Alright. So it looks like whatever it is that you've been focused on, Aries, something that you have been focused on for a while, nurturing, it should produce some profit for you in the near future. I see it progressing. And whatever it is that you're focused on as described, it looks like it's moving through a process, and it looks like there's in this 10th major, or it's the 15th major arcana, aka the Devil card, which has a reference to the 10th house, Capricorn's house, Saturn energy, dealing with rules, regulations, boundaries, expectations, which then define aspects of toxicity, overindulgences, addictions potentially. But I see whatever it is that you're focused on is moving through that type of energy. 15 major arcana as described. So it could be a test, for an example, a test as far as applying some life lessons, where you might consider overindulging in something. You might consider whether or not it's addicting, healthy, what type of boundaries are being crossed. But it looks like once it moves through that stage, we have the Ace of Cups here. So it still looks like a new beginning and potentially a love offer, some passion here, you know. And so I always pay attention when I have the Knight of Pentacles moving, and then a transformative energy such as what's on the table, the 15th major arcana in this case, aka the Devil card. And then on the other side of it in progression, I'm seeing the Ace of Cups. So for me, it looks like a transmutation, energetically speaking, from Pentacles to a Cup. So with that, there could be a relationship, some intimacy, you know, being described here, that starts to generate some passion and some love, you know, a love offer. Looks like an investment was made into a potential relationship, for an example, some intimacy, because sometimes the 15 major arcana describes adult intimacy. So I'm going to put this into a Celtic cross to continue getting information. Okay, let's see. So the 15 major arcana is going into our challenging position there, which is good because that will give me more insight about what those boundaries are all about. Okay. Yeah, so if this has to deal with a relationship and some intimacy, a person of interest. Okay. So it seems like, Aries, if you're dealing with a person of interest, like a love interest that could progress into intimacy, the X-rated type as described, this person seems to have some boundaries, you know, and it seems that you probably are aware of what those boundaries are. You have a good idea because it looks like in in the recent past, you know, that presented a block, you know, the boundaries. I feel like this person lets you know, or you have a good idea of what the boundaries are about. So it seems that you'll have the most success with this person by being aware of those boundaries and respecting the boundaries. Otherwise, getting the connection off the ground is going to be challenging, and it could actually become a deal breaker for this person. They could just, looks like they just want to go ahead and break it off, and then there won't be success in the connection. That's what it looks like here. Let me see what else. Okay, so I'm going to clarify it though, because the Celtic Cross produced like a schematic showing those details about the boundary crossing. This person is serious, like they want a connection that has longevity in it. Let me see, I'm still looking there. All right, now I'm going to clarify, because sometimes the most intense toxic cards in the traditional tarot, sometimes it can just be more of the X-rated adult content. So let's see how it goes with the clarifiers. For an example, if I clarify this 10 of fire, or even the 9 of swords there, and I start seeing, you know, cups come out or something like that, then that's how you know it's a good thing in the X-rated content. You see, okay, but it's being clarified with the King of Pentacles. Oh no, it's getting clarified with the 5 of fire. Okay, so that's not the good adult content that we're looking for. This is the boundaries that I was describing first, okay? And so this is a general reading that's not intended to resonate with everyone. For example, Aries, if you're dealing with somebody and there's no boundaries, you know, there's no walls up or anything like that, basically your person doesn't give you that indication, then this reading is not for you. But Aries, if you're dealing with somebody that, you know, kind of seems a little fickle or rigid about, you know, standards and their connection, then this reading seems to potentially be giving you some highlighted areas of concern. It also looks like there's a possibility that you might have traveled or gone out of your way for this person to even meet with this person. So that's what I have in the first house. It seemed there were a couple different storylines, because we went into a direction talking about if you're working on or if you're thinking about a love connection. But other than that, if it's something inanimate like a project that you've been working on or something else, it just looks like it's going through the rules, the regulations, maybe some 10th house energy as we described earlier. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just going to stack this and then we'll move into our next reading, which will be the 2nd house for Taurus. Okay. All right. So Taurus, the 2nd house reading for Taurus. And some of you Tauruses might have some cusp energy, like a Taurus Gemini cusp. Now this is Taurus's reading. Okay, so for some of you Taurus, it feels like a continuation of a reading I've been having for you guys. There's something that the Three of Swords is here, so it looks like there's some regrettable transaction or situation that happened, and you're wondering about what's going to happen next. How is that going to work out? And I continue to see that in the near future, you're going to see an opportunity to recoup your losses. Like if it's an investment or something, for an example, recoup your losses, it looks like. And we're going to take a look and get more information, though. Like I said, the information that we get, let me take a look at it. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to say could shift from potentially an investment situation, for an example, to a love, or there's the Lover's card. Relationship dynamic. Yeah, it looks like your love and or the opportunity to recoup your losses is coming back. It's a matter of time with the Alchemist here, but looks like it's coming back. So there's a window of opportunity. If you wanted to. I do see that there's a block up, so it might be that you don't want this energy to return, but it does look like there will be an attempt. Okay, the next house I'm going to is Gemini's house in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. All right, Gemini. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Gemini, aka the third house. All right, Gemini. It looks like you have some momentum in this reading. You're headed towards some success. I see with your Knight of Pentacles coming on the stage, there's momentum, something that you've been working on, something you have nurtured for a while. Looks like it's headed towards you and towards the perfect opportunity for abundance, for alignment, for manifestation, for what you're looking for at the end of the day to be ignited and in a beautiful way. So it looks like you're headed towards support energy, you know, around people and a network who wants to see you be successful. In a relationship, it looks like there's a high probability of you moving towards a connection that offers long-term longevity, stability, and it looks like you're coming up on the perfect time to meet Mr. and or Mrs. Right. Looks like you've been moving out of a toxic situation into a better situation, and that your past has enabled you to be a better person, a better lover, have a better sense of what you're looking for, what you want, what you need, and what you don't need. There's a person, a specific person of interest in your heart of hearts. Is what it looks like. All right. Now, with this elaborate Celtic cross that was just developed, there's some energy here talking about a past connection, a past lover. You might have some questions whether or not this past lover, it does look like you may have been trying to move away from the toxicity of that connection. You might wonder if they might try to come back. But it does look like that past lover does think about you, wishes that they can have an opportunity to come out of the cold with you or to be abundant with you. It looks like you might have some choices in love. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles being clarified by the King of Pentacles. The Page of Fire. Eight of Cups. But it looks like Gemini is focused on moving away from the toxic situation, moving away from the past, and moving towards a connection that offers more success, sustainability, longevity, etc. Not going back to the past is what it looks like. Looks like they might have thought about it for a while, but it just makes more sense to them to move, to keep moving forward. It looks like there's another love interest in their heart that they want to move towards. Let's see. And that's what I have for the third house for Gemini. I just need a moment to stack the deck and I'll be right back. The next house we'll move to is Cancer's house, the fourth house. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Now moving to the 4th house. Cancer's house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for the 4th house, aka Cancer. Okay, Cancer. So you might be thinking about a breakup. Let me take a look. So there's a connection. Again, I'm reminded of the disclaimer. This is a general reading. It's not intended to resonate with everyone. Thank you for kindly disregarding it. Don't force anything that's not resonating. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. It looks like this lover will be trying to come back to you in the near future. So it looks like there was a breakup and that you're not quite over that breakup yet. And so there will be an opportunity for a reunion. And at the very least, what this reunion will offer is an opportunity for closure, because it looks like there's a difficult time moving away, moving on from the breakup. Right, I'm seeing the 6 of Swords 2 times make an appearance here. Well, I was trying to clarify this 9 of Cups. See, and this is my outcome. So I feel like that's a clarifier that there will be an opportunity for you to reestablish your connection from this breakup. And it looks like it's going to be, like I said, an opportunity, if nothing else, to get closure, to help you move on, if that's what you want to do. Of course, it looks like, too, there's an opportunity for reconciliation, too. But at the moment, this spread is talking about getting closure. Okay? Being able to, remind yourself what it is about the connection that's over, that's a deal breaker, that doesn't work, that's a pattern that needs to be broken. Or, I mean, there's a strong mentality in the 5 of Swords. It seems to persist. When I'm looking at this, I'm clarifying this 13 major arcana, which is transformative energy. Is talking about a new beginning after an ending, just an ending for a new beginning to start. And then to see the 5 of Swords clarify that 13 major arcana, for me, it feels like getting closure. Okay, but great. I'm also seeing the opportunity to have a new start. There goes another embodiment talking about a new start. Yes, okay. To pick up where you left off, because with that Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Fire, and we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles here, who is intentional to move the connection to long-term stability, something sustainable and that you could build on. Alright, so it looks like the sky is the limit for your connection, and this card keeps making an appearance, the 6 of Swords. Moving out of a toxic situation into a better situation. Pay attention to the red flags, because it could be a repeat of a lesson that you experienced in the past. And that's what I have for the 4th house. Now we'll move to the 5th house, which is Leo's house, in just a moment. Hello in the chat. Hi everybody. Thank you for your support on the channel and on the video. Thank you for your greetings. Okay. All right, so next we're going to Leo's house, the 5th house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Leo, aka the 5th house. Okay, so Leo, it looks like this energy is describing going back into a past connection. It looks like the opportunity to reconcile with a past lover. Let's see. And this time, moving with the intention to be more serious with this lover. Okay. Now, let's see. It looks like Leo, you might be thinking about taking a chance and stepping out, you know, whereas it's like you could be rejected. Okay, maybe you experienced a sense of rejection in the past, or at least felt like you were given a cold shoulder in the past. But anyhow, it looks like Leo's going for this one. And it looks like there's a high probability for success. As I'm coming out with the Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, the Emperor, and the Two of Cups. I mean, this almost suggests you might, this looks like you're dealing with somebody who is picky. It looks like they won't just roll over. They're not going to just melt in your hand is what it looks like. Let's say they might give you a little run for your money. It's going to take time. Looks like it takes time to warm them up, to win them over. That's for some of you. That's for some of you. I mean, pentacles are slow moving. You see, and there's a bunch of pentacles on the table. So it looks like there is a high potential for this connection to come together and to be the one, to have the stability and the longevity that you want. And the monogamy that you want. See, here's the coldness that you might endure. For some of you, this is the indication, this person doesn't look like they're just going to roll over for you. They might give you some pushback. They might be a little cold towards you. But this alchemist says it takes time to warm this person over. It takes time for them to, you know, it takes time for you to win them over is what it looks like. And that's the challenge. Otherwise, it looks like this is an Empress and this Ace of Pentacles. Keeping in mind again, Pentacles are slow moving, but we have the Ace of Pentacles moving towards the Empress. And we also have Emperor and Empress energy. So it looks like you may have met your match there. And then at the end of the day, we're looking at the Two of Cups as your outcome. So it looks like there's a high possibility for success in this connection. Now it could be a new connection, but there is a strong indication that this particular reading is talking about a past connection. There's a very strong indication that this is somebody that you have known. So when I say past connection, this could be someone that you've never really had a relationship with before. Definitely not in the capacity that we're looking at happening now. But you might know the person, be familiar with the person for a while. You guys might have flirted for a minute, whatever, you know. Or it could actually be somebody that is in the past. Maybe you did have a connection with them. Anyhow, that's the energy on the table. Okay. And then we'll move to our next reading now, which is going to be for Virgo. And I just need a moment to stack the deck. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. Just going to be a little bit quiet to do this. Okay. All right. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Virgo, aka the 6th house. Okay, let's see, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. So I'm picking up a lot of energy in the past. So it looks like whatever you have been focused on that's coming up in this reading, Virgo, in the past, you've nurtured it for a long time. You spent energy in this for a long time. And it looks like this has the substance to offer longevity, stability for you in the near future. It looks like you've gone through the many ups and downs, trials and tribulations. You've turned this thing every which way but go. But let it go. You turned it every which way but not let it go. You didn't let it go. It looks like at times, you spent a lot of time there. Other times you might have multitasked it a little bit over here, a little bit over there. Maybe also presented it to others, got a collective opinion about it. Potentially even put it forth through some professionals or people of expertise, a group of expertise. Sometimes it may have become obstructive and you had to pull back. Maybe you had to protect your energy, protect your project. Sometimes you were supported. Other times you were weathering the storm on your own about this thing. Sometimes you got some charity, some, advice. You turned it all around and looked at it, banged out some pinnacles, made some money off of it, lived comfortably in the energy and or off the energy, been abundant with it, seen high levels and potentials of success with it. Anyhow, that's what's all being illustrated in the first position, literally going through the whole suit of pentacles to the 10th, from the Ace of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, then we have the Page of Pentacles. So it looks like it's starting to bear fruit for you. It's starting to bear fruit for you. You may be embarking into a new chapter with this. And it feels like it could even be more than one thing. That's the multitasking. Let me see. Dear Holy Spirit, is there anything else to say? Let's see. All right, the Page of Pentacles is what you know, was at the bottom of the deck here. Anything else? All right, see, here's the Judgment. So it feels like that's a reiteration of what I had said. What do you say? Confirmation as well, that this thing is starting to bloom, starting to come into fruition. Okay, so that's what we have there. So as far as the card column consolidation, I'll go ahead and put the Page of Pentacles there. And let's see. All right, thank you, dear Holy Spirit. Please continue. Oh, look, guys, a wish fulfillment. Oh, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, that's really beautiful. So yeah, it looks like what you've been working on, as described, is starting to come to fruition. It looks like a wish come true, a dream come true, prayers answered, and it's everything that you had hoped for it to be. And yay. Okay, so since that's so clear, we'll go ahead and keep going into our next house, which is the 7th house, Libra's house, in just a moment. Okay. Thank you guys for your support on the video and on the channel. Hey everybody. Oh, let's see. In our 7th house. Oh, a heartbreak, a sense of betrayal is coming on the stage. And walls up, filter, block. So somebody's wanting to take some time. Let me get more information about it. Oh, dang it. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see, Wheel of Fortune, Chariot, and okay, so there is a connection here coming into this reading, a connection. It looks like this particular connection reminded me of the disclaimer that this is a general reading. It's not intended to resonate with everyone, because this particular connection, it seems like it's been deteriorating for some time. Like there have been signs that this connection should have been closed out a long time ago. The Eight of Swords is that card that says to me, though, that whoever's holding on to it, they're doing that. It's a self-imposed imprisonment. They're doing that to get their own sense of closure. They're holding on. They're not letting go. They're still staying in that situation to get closure, for an example, or they feel some sense of obligation, you know. And of course, there's still some hope that things will work out. And also that it's also an indication, especially in a relationship, of a soul tie, of, you know, so hoping that things will work out. But the Three of Swords is indication that there's starting to be some intense regret, some feeling backstabbed, some offenses have been made. So it's coming to a breaking point where I say Libra because this is Libra's reading, but the other disclaimer is that when Libra is mentioned, it could be someone in Libra's energy field and vice versa, especially in the case of it, if it's a twin flame soulmate connection that could happen. But it does seem like this is still the energy that's on the table, but it's still progressive. I'm not seeing a strong, sharp breakup, you know. I still see that it's progressively, like, Libras progressively getting themselves out of it, detaching from it, getting their own sense of closure. And in fact, there's something that may have happened just recently that catalyzed one of the closures that they were trying to get. Remember, I said it looked like they were sticking around to get their own sense of closure, like this something that just happened was just like one of the nails in the coffin, for an example, to catalyze. Okay, yeah, no, this, that's a deal breaker. But the thing is that I'm still seeing, like I said, a slow progressive detachment. Nothing that was really, really suddenly done. Now, this could be because there are obligations between some of the Libra in the audience, like a relationship, like co-parenting situation, or some bills shared, or responsibilities shared, or something for that extent. And if that's the reason, then it does look like there is a harsh cutoff, like they've cut it off, but they're still responsibly minded to take care of the business that they have to take care of. And it looks like with time, progressively, the connection will become even more numb between the two of them, and Libra will be setting themselves free even the more from that connection, moving away from the connection energetically, with the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, and the Apprentice making appearance, with the King of Cups and the Page of Fire on the table. All right, now let's see here. Okay, so I want to put this in a Celtic cross and see if there's any more information we can get out of it. Okay, so at the moment, the additional information that I'm getting for this one, it looks like there's a third party situation. Hold on, let me see. King of Pentacles. Oh, Temperance. Three of Fire. King of Pentacles, Temperance, Three of Fire. King of Pentacles, Temperance, Three of Fire, Magician, Ace of Swords, Three of Fire. It looks like there is a chance. Now, this is not going to apply for every storyline. This is definitely not going to apply for every storyline. So I'm going to put a pin. I forgot to put a pin in the first translation as one complete storyline, because this one has a slight, subtle hint towards third-party situation, but it still also says this is not exclusively everyone's situation. Anyhow, one thing that's being stated about this is that your person, one of you in this third party connection, wants to come back to Libra, wants to make it right with Libra. But Libra is blocking this person out. It's going to be hard to get them back. They're going to try, though. They're trying to figure out how to come back. And it also has a strong leaning towards co-parent, like a mother or father of the children in the connection, trying to come back. But walls are up. Boundaries have been established. And we're already seeing the energy towards Libra trying to detach and move away with a strong emphasis, especially due to the offense that was made. However, there is a likelihood for reconciliation to happen, so it depends, because the Eight of Swords was there, and it just seems like there was a deal breaker, but it almost looked like there was more love in the connection than there. It kind of seemed like there's equal. I can't really put a measure on the toxicity or the regrets or the pain in the connection, but there was a lot of love, like history, like that soul tie seemed pretty strong. Your person's going to try to come back, try to be fair, and they might come back with gifts, trying to win you over, maybe with money, trying to win you over, trying to carry their side of the weight in your relationship. So here's the subtle aspect of the third party situation. Seeing the threes make appearances, the three of fire, the three of swords, the three of cups. Right. I didn't see the three of pentacles though. There's an ace of pentacles. Okay, that's, oh, here is actually the three of pentacles. Three of pentacles. So yeah, those threes making appearances all at once. That's a hint. That's a subtle hint leaning towards a third party situation. And then you have in the beginning, and then in the recent past, there was the two of you. Then I'm looking at the three of swords being the thesis statement, and then you're looking at this three of cup here. So it's just a subtle emphasis on a third party situation. Plus, on top of that, we have our Empress in a challenge position. So I feel like this is the one. This is Libra's energy, I feel like, for context purposes. But like we say, in a general reading, especially one where there's a twin flame soulmate connection, when I say Libra, it could be their person of interest and vice versa. I feel like with the context and the additional information that we've been given, this is Libra's energy with their walls up, and it's in a challenging position. That it's going to be difficult to win Libra back. But here is the desire to want to win Libra back. I feel like this is some pushback that might happen. It looks like there's going to be some wavering, like maybe Libra thinks about it, maybe Libra doesn't. Maybe Libra lets this person back in a certain capacity, especially if this is a co-parent situation. And then it becomes obstructive, like, okay, now that's enough, with the boundaries. Now go get back, type energy. And then you see the Five of Pentacles there. That's single. They're single type energy, pulling their energy back. And then, I can do battle by myself type. And then I feel like this is Libra's person of interest, trying to be fair, trying to be balanced, might even offer some gifts, maybe go above and beyond, maybe do what they should have been doing in the first place. And you might have thought they didn't hear you, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, you did hear me. You do know exactly what I wanted all the time, and they're coming to do it type energy. And then at the end of the day, it looks like there could be success because we have the Emperor as the outcome. And we have the Empress in the challenge with the Nine of Fire, which is not the hard, burn the bridge with fire type energy. It's just guarded energy. Being careful about the energy they let in and let out. Maybe blocking sometimes, but a type of a block where I'm going to respond or I'll be available on my time type energy is what it looks like. And then with this card combination that we went through that leads us through the Pentacles from the Ace to the Six of Pentacles as described, then have the Temperance grounding. It says that this may take some time, and there already seems to have been established some time in the connection. This is going to take more time to try to salvage and try to heal and the differences in the connection. And then, aside from the connections that's talking about a third-party situation, but here is the element of success. The Three of Cups and the Ace of Fire represents some success, coming together, celebrating, having a new start, potentially, is there. Okay. Also, this right here, like, I feel like this is the diagram, the schematic giving information in the tarot about the catalyst that sparked the, okay, you know what? I feel like that was a deal breaker. That offense right there, it just, you know, don't know how to deal with that. Don't know how to work with that. How am I going to work with that? Especially in a scenario where I can't easily cut this person out of my life because of our shared assets, our shared, you know, family, our life. But there's something about that, you know, that puts a wrench in things. And then here's another embodiment that appears to be third party. And there's a, you know, there's a marriage, if not on paper, energetic marriage. And then here you guys know that sometimes this is the card that comes up to imply there's another woman in the connection. Context is everything. That's what I'm getting so far in the 7th house. Again, a storyline that is definitely not intended to resonate with everybody at all. Let's see. Okay. Thank you so much for your support on the video, for your support on the channel, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to take a moment to restock the deck, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay. So next we're moving to the 8th house, which is Scorpio's house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio, aka the 8th house. Okay, Scorpio. So whatever it is that you're focused on, it looks like you're moving in a direction for success. It looks like you're progressing towards success, especially personal fulfillment with the 9 of Cups being there. So it seems that you might be locked in, focused on a certain endeavor, and things are smoothing out. You might notice some turbulence with the ups and downs, or sometimes it might seem like you come to a pause. With this alchemist, blends energy together, elements together that don't normally mix well. So when I have a transformative energy such as this in the midst of the Knight of Pentacles and another positive, successful embodiment at the end of the day, that being the 9 of Cups, that's why I'm looking at progressing towards success. Progressing towards success. So let's get more context and see what else can be seen. Especially, we're going to be putting the alchemist in the challenging position. And this is personal satisfaction with the 9 of Cups. Your cups are overflowing. Your cups are self-sustained. You have a sense of accomplishment in this card here. Alright, so I'm being reminded to put a pin in that translation. because the clarifiers in this Celtic cross seems like it's potentially leaning towards another situation, another reading with similar sentiment, but it takes a turn. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so the sense of self-satisfaction or accomplishment, or what I was picking up in the Nine of Cups in this spread is due to, I feel like, cutting your losses off, salvaging yourself, and getting out of a situation where you dodged a bullet. Yeah. Okay, so this expounded view, this expounded spread here. Hey, let's see. Yeah, it looks like you're salvaging yourself, and what's being clarified as with what the alchemist is balancing and sustaining for your success, for your peace of mind, is your emotional state towards the situation, your capacity to stay in your body, so to speak, like, because versus out of body and responding and reactive and being manipulated and carried away by what somebody else is doing, or even by the situation itself, is the challenge, is what the alchemist is supporting to provide you with stability, to manage and to deal with. But it looks like there is a connection here in this specific reading that was progressing but became toxic and is nearing a breaking point, like a very devastating tower moment, a breaking point. And it looks like the test for this connection is to, like I said, stay in your body and also master yourself, because it looks like there's a high potential. This connection here seems that you guys have some chemistry that may be addictive. Like you guys might be addicted to each other. Let me clarify that. I could be redirected or confirmed. Let me see what, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify. This 15 major arcana, let me see. Because I don't even like looking at that card like that. Let's see here just a second. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the 15 major arcana, aka the devil card. Why is it here? Yeah, about the boundaries and crossing those boundaries. Somebody trying to lure you into their agenda versus you standing on your ground and doing what you want to do. So yeah, it looks like there might be some challenges on standing your ground, doing what's best for you versus caving and being catering to someone else's agendas or what they want you to do, especially when it's a violation of your own moral standard and your own principles. That's what the 15 major arcana embodies: boundaries, rules, regulations, expectations, and then it establishes the boundary crossing and the overindulgences, which gets us to the toxicity. So there's also here some emphasis on wanting to work on the connection, come out of the cold in the connection, to repair the connection, almost wanting to put the spilt milk back into the bottle and wish something had never happened. But it also looks like it's in one of your best interests to break it off. So it seems that it's at the disadvantage of someone else to break it off. Alright, so I'm going to be back in just a moment. Move us to our next house, which will be Capricorn's house. Or no, sorry, I always do that when I skip. I don't know why I skip 9 sometimes. Actually, Sagittarius comes before Capricorn. Let's see. 15, 16, 17, 14. And let's see. Queen. And the Knight. 7, 8, 9. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're in Sagittarius' house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Sagittarius, aka the 9th house. All right, Prince of Pentacles, Magician, and the 5 of Swords. Okay, Sagittarius. So whatever it is that you're focused on, but you've been working on, it looks like it's coming to fruition, starting to bud, starting to accomplish all that you set it out to do and to be. And it looks like you're nearing an optimal time for abundance, manifestation, for that big bang, for alignment. And it looks like you take that energy with the win at all cost mentality and the 5 of Swords and carry it with you. So I feel like you have very decisive, determinate, win at all cost mentality. I do see success here, and it looks like things are coming into alignment to facilitate your success. Period. Okay, and so I don't run out of energy, I've got to keep going to the 10th house. Thank you all for your support on the video and on the channel. Let's see. I gotta speed it up so I don't fizzle out and run out of energy. So we're in our 10th house for Capricorn. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading. Hello in the chat. Thank you so much. Capricorn, 5 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and the 15 Major Arcana. The 15 Major Arcana is Capricorn's energy. So it governs career, status, rules, regulation, expectations. Alright, so the 5 of Swords is here, the 3 of Pentacles, and this seems to be a continuation of some energy in regard to some unethical workplace practices. It looks like there has been an investigation going on, some complaints submitted, and so that's the type of energy that I'm looking at right now. At the moment, I still see that review is still ongoing. Okay, that's what I have for that update. We'll be back to do another reading as soon as possible on that one. But yeah, so apologies Capricorn, aka the 10th house. At the moment, the readings have mostly been surrounding workplace, work ethic, a dispute in progress. yesterday I wasn't even allowed to see anything that was going on, but today I got the information that that situation is still pending. The review is still ongoing. Okay, so now we'll look at Aquarius's house. The 11th house is Aquarius's house. Okay, dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Aquarius, aka the 11th house. Alright, so this is a very similar reading to Sagittarius, the 9th house. But we're looking at some success here, whatever it is that you're working on, Aquarius. I think the difference between Sagittarius and your reading might be that you have more longevity than what I've seen in the 9th house. I think they have the Ace of Pentacles where you have the Queen. So you can see Pentacles are slow moving. First you start out with the Ace, and then you evolve to the Queen, and then you evolve to the King. You're at the Queen. So it looks like this is something that you have been focused on for a while. The Queen being here, I feel like it has context to the 10th house, which is the house of careers, work, rules, regulations, expectations, etc., and status. So it looks like what you're focused on is going, it's moving in progress, it's going in a good direction with the Alchemist here to temper elements that don't normally mix well together, the ups and downs, the curveballs, trials, tribulations. Feels like they're working itself out, it's going to be worked out, and you're headed towards the Nine of Cups. So I feel like you should have some confirmations here and some satisfaction, a job well done. Satisfaction of a job well done, and some confirmations in regard to that too. And then we'll move to the 12th house, and I'll be back to do another reading as soon as possible. That's why I try to start, like today I started in the 1st house and where I had more energy to give. Next time I'll start in the 12th house, so hopefully because I'm moving faster here to try to conserve my energy so I don't burn out. So let's see what we can get for the 12th house in just a moment. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Pisces, aka the 12th house. Okay, Pisces, so it seems that you might be feeling overwhelmed, and it looks like you might be feeling like you've come to your breaking point, especially as it pertains to a relationship. This particular relationship looks like it was headed towards marriage, or at least, you know, you wanted it to head towards marriage. Okay, so it feels like you guys are going through some transformative energy. Especially there was some sort of offense that was made in the past with this Three of Swords, a sense of backstabbing, betrayal, just some disappointment and some heartbreak is being described here, and walls have gone up, like boundaries, walls, blocking a diminished connection, diminished energy in your connection, some standoff energy here. But here, if we're looking at this couple, it looks like now this Three of Swords, again, it could imply that there's a third party situation, and it could involve the married person or somebody in a connection that energetically, if not on paper, energetically is coming across as a married couple. And then the third party of it looks like there is another potential lover that creates some obstructive interference, where one of the lovers in this connection is pulling their energy back And it looks like even from them pulling their energy back in a certain type of way is causing a disruption, like chaos in the connection. And it looks like a karmic sense of chaos. All of these are major arcanas, by the way, which are the culmination of collective energy from our karmic ciphers when we're making decisions within our own free will. They all of those decisions culminate into karma, and we could have a positive cash or we could have a deficit. So it looks like all of these are major arcanas. So there would be a highlighted area of concern with these type of major arcanas, in regard to like a marriage, this type of energetic marriage, and then the infiltration or obstruction to that type of marriage with another love. And then you see this dynamic pullback because these are major arcanas too. And then the pullback and the strength, the pullback and the hermit, then the wheel of fortune, the spin cycle, the karmic, the judgment there, literal justice, karma. And then this hangman type energy with the 13 major arcana, the death man, the death card there. So it's like, oh, the ups and the downs coming to a breaking point or not. But even, yeah, I was going to say, even despite all of the curveballs that we've described that are very intense, at the end of the day, it feels like there's a very high likelihood of a breakup, but also there's also a high possibility that it's not like a burn the bridge type of a breakup. But in that case, there's a high likelihood that it's not a burn the bridge type of a breakup, because we've seen energetic marriages, and so the entanglements that connect, that tie everybody, that keep everyone together, it's not something that you could just easily break apart. But I feel like it goes beyond that. So, like, it's part of the free will. Let me see. Keep looking here. So first, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the third position. Okay, guys. So, you see how my clarifier is actually on the table here, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, and this here was clarified to be the Three of Swords. So I have the Three of Swords here. Three of Swords here. Three of Swords here. There's walls, boundaries. And it almost looks like in some cases a double life. A double life. Well, that's what I wanted to verify, guys. And that's what we have. And so I'll be back to do another reading as soon as possible. I was trying to think, what else could I do? But I'm going to take a break, guys, and then we'll be back as soon as possible. Thank you again for your support on the video and on the channel. Signing off for now until next time. Peace.